As I sat in my room trying to fall asleep, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't quite right. I had been having nightmares every night for weeks now, dreams filled with images of teeth and claws tearing at me from the darkness. But tonight was different. Tonight, I heard howls in my head, like wolves crying out to the world. My heart raced as I strained my ears to listen closely to these mournful cries. But just then, I felt a cold breeze sweeping through the crack beneath my bedroom door. Frightened and unable to move, I watched helplessly as a pair of glowing red eyes peered back at me from the dark hallway outside. It was the last time I saw the sun again. My family didn't know where I had gone after I left home that evening, nor did anyone in our quiet little village deep in the forest. All they knew was that there had been another attack, this time on a young boy who lived alone on the edge of town, his body half-eaten. My family, my friends, they all thought it was just the work of a crazed wild animal, a rabid predator roaming the countryside looking for prey. They never suspected the truth behind the glowing red eyes that stared at me that fateful night. I was cursed with the spirit of the wolf, and as the moon grew fuller each night, so did I. My body began to change in ways I could barely understand. Claws grew from my fingers, my fur thickened, and my skin turned black, and my senses heightened beyond belief. Hunger consumed me, not just for the food, but for the meat itself. Yet, despite the hunger, I retained enough of my humanity to recognize the horror that had overtaken the village. While parents kept their children locked in their homes, my own family barricaded ourselves in our house and prayed to the gods who could hear them to save us from the monster's wrath. But no matter how many locks they bolted or how tight they sealed their doors, they could not keep me out forever. Eventually, I slipped undetected through the cracks in the walls, stealing away into the forest to hunt. Each kill brought me closer to understanding my new form, and eventually my mind cleared enough for me to recall fragments of the curse that had befallen me. Legends whispered throughout our village spoke of a vengeful spirit bound to the lunar cycles, seeking retribution against any who dared cross her path. She took many forms, from a beautiful woman cloaked in mist to a pack of hunting dogs, whose bites brought agony and despair. But she preferred the guise of the wolf above all others, striking without warning and leaving only chaos and devastation in her wake. With this knowledge came clarity, and soon I realized my true purpose as the vessel for this malevolent entity. Each full moon would bring forth my transformation and set me upon a rampage through the nearby towns and villages, until the bloodshed finally appeased the spirit's thirst for revenge. Then I would return to my human state, only to begin the vicious cycle anew come the next month. Time seemed to blur together as I struggled with this terrible burden. How long had I been trapped in this hellish existence? Days, weeks, months. I lost track of the days as the years rolled by. Yet still I remained imprisoned within this endless loop of carnage and rebirth. Sometimes, during moments of lucidity, I managed to seek solace in the memories of my former life, the times before I became a monster. Mother's cooking, father's laughter, even the sound of my siblings squabbling in the yard. These recollections served as faint comfort, reminders of the man I once was. For hours on end, I relived these cherished moments, desperately clinging to any scrap of normalcy in the midst of unrelenting madness. Eventually, though, I learned to accept my fate and started exploiting the advantages granted to me by the wolf spirit's power. In addition to enhanced strength and speed, I discovered an instinctual ability to navigate the dense forest and sense prey lurking in the shadows. With practice, I mastered subtle manipulation of my transformed state, maintaining control over certain physical aspects such as size and muscular mass. Most important, I made sure I struck at night when the villagers least expected it, picking off travelers journeying along remote paths or isolating unsuspecting farmers working late in their fields. Though my parents may have given up hope of finding me alive, other families yearned for justice, for the capture and punishment of the elusive wolf stalking the region. Some adventurous souls even attempted to pursue me themselves, armed with weapons and boasts of bravery. None returned empty-handed. None returned at all. Amidst these grim escapades, something unexpected occurred. The full moons passed, one after another, bringing with them brief respites from the slaughter. During these periods, my senses gradually dulled, allowing rational thoughts to surface once more. Over time, I realized I'd grown accustomed to this horrific existence, perhaps even drawn to its brutal simplicity. No longer did the idea of living under the same roof as my parents repulse me. Instead, I ached to reunite with my loved ones, to confess everything I had done, regardless of the consequences. A part of me hoped they might understand, however unlikely that possibility appeared. And so one day, or rather one night, I found myself standing before their quaint abode, heart pounding with equal parts fear and determination. As the silvery glow of the crescent moon cast eerie shadows onto the surrounding trees, I knocked softly. Hesitant to startle them, Mother answered first, shrinking away from the sight of my gaunt frame, wild hair, and gleaming fangs. I swallowed down my shame and muttered a hoarse greeting. Knowing words alone could not repair the damage done. To my surprise, however, she invited me in without further ado, offering sustenance and shelter if I promised peace between us. This small act of kindness stirred emotions in me I had forgotten existed, and we spent hours catching up over meals, sharing stories of what transpired since our separation. In secret, I also shared the mark branded onto my palm, a symbol of the bond linking me to the savage force dwelling within my soul. When my parents retired to sleep, I ventured outside to contemplate my options. The moon hung high in the sky, its pale light casting an otherworldly glow on the village. I knew that the curse still held me tightly in its grip, and that the spirit of the wolf would return with the next full moon. But now, with the taste of humanity on my tongue once again, I yearned for redemption. I yearned to break free from this cycle of violence and find a way to sever the ties that bound me to the vengeful spirit. Days turned into nights as I delved into ancient texts and legends, desperate to uncover a solution. In the dusty corners of forgotten libraries, I discovered stories of other cursed individuals who had faced similar plights. Some had found release through acts of selflessness, sacrificing themselves for the greater good. Others had sought out powerful mystics who possessed the knowledge and abilities to break such curses. My heart raced with hope as I realized that maybe, just maybe, there was a chance for me to find salvation. Driven by newfound purpose, I set out on a perilous journey, venturing deep into the heart of the wilderness. I sought out the guidance of a reclusive wise woman rumored to possess ancient wisdom. Legends whispered that she had the power to commune with spirits and break curses that seemed unbreakable. The path was treacherous, but my determination burned brighter than ever, fueled by the flicker of hope that I might one day be free from this nightmarish existence. Days turned into weeks, and finally I stood before the wise woman's secluded dwelling. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as she emerged from the shadows, her eyes filled with ancient knowledge. She spoke in a voice that resonated with power and whispered secrets only the spirits could comprehend. I bared my soul to her, sharing my story and the depths of my regret. The wise woman listened intently, her expression filled with empathy. She spoke of ancient rituals and sacred artifacts that might hold the key to my release. She warned me of the dangers that lay ahead, for breaking a curse was no easy feat, but I was prepared to face any trial, endure any hardship, if it meant a chance to reclaim my humanity. Together, we embarked on a quest to gather the necessary components for the ritual. We traveled through treacherous landscapes, faced fierce adversaries, and braved the wrath of vengeful spirits, but with each obstacle overcome, I grew stronger, both in body and spirit. The moon waxed and waned, its cycles mirroring my own journey towards redemption. Finally, the day of the ritual arrived. Under the light of the full moon, surrounded by ancient runes and mystical artifacts, I channeled all my remaining strength and called upon the spirit of the wolf. I pleaded for release, for forgiveness, for a chance to make amends. The air crackled with energy as the spirit. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.